Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having the 10th and 11th house duplicated in a natal chart. Now, when you have houses that are duplicated, you have the same sign on them. And duplicated houses will always be consecutive. So anyway, first thing, you have the 10th and 11th house duplicated in your natal chart. Well, you're going to have those elements of each of those houses integrated and amalgamated. They'll be conjoined very strongly. They'll often interact with each other. So this person may make, perhaps through their career, they may make friends. This could be a person whose aspirations are goals are very strongly linked to their career endeavors, and maybe more so than the average person. It could be that social networking may be involved in this person's career. Perhaps authority figures or a authority figure may have played a role in this person's friends, in their aspirations, their goals, even organizations. Groups, clubs, maybe somehow these are tied into the person's career. Maybe the person has friends or acquaintances that are very advantageous and beneficial to career endeavors. The 10th house is the dominant parent, and that's generally the father, and this person may have played a role perhaps in this person's goals, their aspirations, maybe encourage this person to join certain groups, certain organizations. The social networking may be tied in perhaps to this person's their livelihood. Perhaps this person reaches some kind of a status, notoriety, recognition through the help of friends, through acquaintances, maybe people they meet in social networking. It could be that perhaps this person's their goals, their aspirations can be very well tied in, maybe to a position of authority even. We'll look at this, and a lot of this depends on the sign that is on the cusp of these houses. Now, with me, I have this. I have Aquarius on the 10th and 11th house cusp, and what I think how this has affected me as far as having Aquarius on these houses. Well, first thing, if you have the same sign on the two houses, you're going to have the characteristics and attributes very strongly intensified, and they will work very strongly in those particular areas of your chart. And with the 10th house, you know that I do the astrology videos, as many of you know, and that falls under that Aquarius Uranus thing, and I think they're tied in. It really seems to figure prominently with me, because it seems like I have met friends through this, and friends being on the 11th house cusp, and those friends with Aquarius on that house cusp, they can be perhaps interested in esoteric subjects, which includes astrology. Friends, acquaintances that may be unorthodox, eclectic, perhaps innovative and ingenious, original. And it could be that this 10th and 11th house is very strongly integrated with me, because I do believe that through what I've done with the astrology videos, which maybe I have gotten a little exposure anyway for, which is, I guess we could say, that's that 10th house, is the fact that I have met, not face to face, but I have acquired some friends through this, some acquaintances, and I think that has something to do with having that 10th and 11th house and being in the same sign. And when I look at this is that I would say for me the aspirations and goals can be very tied into each other. Now let's say for another person, well, if somebody has Aquarius in 10 on the 10th and 11th house in general, well, this could be someone also who may work in, I'm just saying another example other than me, because my main thing is the astrology as far as Aquarius being on the houses. Now, someone else might thrive in some kind of computers, electronics, technology, some kind of career that involves innovation, ingenuity, originality, and may have a number of friends that are somehow connected with this or have similar and have those interests, and they may be strongly tied into each other. With me, it's mainly the astrology, I guess, as far as that example goes. However, I guess I am using the computer as well. I don't know. I don't think that really counts in my example, but anyway, it just really, it's something that you have to look at. And when we have duplicated houses in a chart, there's going to be a pair of interceptions for every two houses that have the same sign on it that are duplicated. In my case, I have the 11th and 5th house duplicated. And with this, I look at this, and perhaps through the 10th and 11th house, through Aquarius, through perhaps showing these strong, perhaps Aquarius characteristics such as being humanitarian, philanthropic, through being maybe somehow original, or in my own way, maybe through being that universal friend and showing those humanitarian qualities, such as selflessness. Perhaps this way I can have maybe the difficulties lie in the 11th house, which is friends, and maybe that way I actually find the right friends, and through the 10th and 11th house working together, such as through perhaps some status and recognition, maybe through astrology, and doing so through social networking. Maybe I find those right friends, and having Pisces intercepted in the 11th, well, that can indicate some problems in that area. Pisces is intercepted, could indicate difficulties with maybe perhaps some kind of delusion or deception involving friends and acquaintances, and perhaps through utilizing these qualities of Aquarius, that could help me find those friends that will not perhaps be deceptive, or I will not delude myself in seeing enough as far as those friends, so-called friends, go, and I will find maybe the right ones that aren't going to be deceptive, and that I don't have to worry about whether they're actually my true friends or not. So I think in that way we could say that how the Aquarius would work out, and maybe be a way out in terms of extricating oneself from the problems that are associated with the intercepted houses. Now, in my case, the 5th house is intercepted as well, and that could indicate maybe some problems with enjoyment. But through Aquarius, through being selfless, by showing the humanitarian qualities, by being true, by being original, being unique, perhaps I find, and maybe even through esoteric interests such as astrology, I could find my own enjoyment, and really find that balance between the 11th house of friends and the 5th house of enjoyment for myself. So really, that's what it comes down to. And duplicated houses are a way where one could extricate themselves from the problems that are associated with those intercepted houses, and in my case it would be the 11th and 5th. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for having the 10th and 11th house duplicated in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having the 11th and 12th house duplicated in a natal horoscope. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.